Fight week.
I thought you were going to say hello world. I'm like, fight week. That's so funny.
So I said fight week and you said hello world.
There we go. It's Island Fights 50, Pensacola, Florida. Fight week. The moment we've all been waiting for. It's fight week.
It is. But hello, I am Dave. To my right is Max.
Yep.
When you're listening to the podcast, that means a lot when I say to my right.
It does. It does. It matters a lot. But yeah, guys, this is huge. So
Yes.
if you're following Locked In, or if this is your first time listening, you better hit that download, hit that subscribe button now, because the amount of content that people will have on is going to be humongous.
Absolutely.
Humongous.
This week,
You didn't even correct me. I set you up for there.
I can't correct you every time, cuz I can't do it every time. What I was saying is this week will be absolutely the most content we'll ever put out. We have so many things planned that we don't even want to give away, and then we're going to have so many surprises that we don't even know is going to happen. So we're excited for this weekend. But to start off, Fight Week for Dean Toole's promotion, Island Fights 50, we have our man, our mentor, the leader of the Locked In community, Pete White.
Yes, we cannot say enough good things, even if we record it for 3 hours. So to sum it all up, a brief synopsis, I'm just going to say he's our favorite person on the face of this earth.
I think you undersold him.
Yeah. So, all right, guys, hope you enjoy. And before we get into the interview and after, if you have any questions about him, you could obviously find him on all social media platforms. But he's from Pete White Boxing, MMA in Port Orange, Florida. So if you're interested in joining MMA or boxing, or your kids, anybody, family members, friends, definitely check out this gym. And like always, guys, stay locked in and enjoy this interview.
Fight Week.
Pete White, the legend himself from Pete White Boxing, MMA. How are you doing, sir?
Doing very well, guys. How are you?
It's Fight Week, Pete. Island Fights 50, Pensacola. How amped are you?
Listen, I go to a lot of shows all over the place, but Dean Toole is one of my closest friends, and there's something about fighting in Pensacola, even though the drive is not as fun as everybody would imagine. It's there's something about the energy and fighting over there that just is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, this is going to be the biggest event in Florida this year, it seems like, Island Fights 50. You have so many fighters on it, and of course you have so many fighters on it. But before we dive into that, I just want to say you're probably our most frequent guest we've ever had on Locked In, so you get the award today.
Lucky me, right? Lucky me.
But back to the action. So you have Chris Mixon and you have Anderson Hutchinson competing on this fight card, correct?
Yes, Chris Mixon, this kid is 19 years old, and he's going to be our next big superstar coming out of our camp. This kid is he's phenomenal. There's not enough you can say about him. He just has what it takes, and he commits. That's the whole secret. That's the key to Chris, is he's committed 100% to fighting. So we're excited to get him up there and get him in that big ring. He's been used to fighting his amateur fights. He's been in these small, the smaller cage and everything. So we put him in that big ring up there that Dean has, and it's 24 by 24. That's a lot of real estate to work for a kid that's a striker like him.
Yeah, that was actually my next question. Is I'm obviously a huge fan of Chris, just as a friend, and of course as a fan of him, watching him fight. This has to be a huge advantage for him because he's so used to a smaller environment. So the more range, the more distance you give him, you have to imagine he's going to blossom in that type of situation, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good thing. We don't want to talk too much about what we're looking to do and everything, but until after the fight. But, listen, Chris is one of those guys, we're not worried. However it goes, he can handle himself in anywhere. Wrestling, jiu-jitsu, boxing, kickboxing, whatever we need to take care of. He's got a total package, so we're good to go with that.
Absolutely, absolutely. We'll talk more about Chris. I definitely want to talk about Anderson. I do want to say I have a question for you about Dean Toole. We always look for the it factor in fighters. You don't know why Connor is he always lands that left hand, always, right? A promoter. Yep. What's Dean? I feel like he has an it factor of being a promoter. Is that kind of calling it? Do you like that? Take from me. Just his shows are just out of this world. They're the best in Florida.
Well, there's regional shows, there's local shows, there's national shows, there's international shows. You know what I mean? So, first of all, me and him just clicked together right off the bat. and he's probably one of the very few people that when the phone rings and I answer it, we'll sit on the phone for an hour, hour and a half, easy, and never break stride talking about whatever.
That's
Yeah.
You know what I
awesome.
mean? And I don't talk to a lot of people on the phone or spend lengthy time talking to anybody on the phone. So, but Dean is definitely one of the very few that I can probably count on a few fingers how many people I do that with. So, but Dean, when you go to his show, you see the difference. It's in the big arena, the Pensacola Bay Center up there. It's it's a regional show. There's thousands of people there. He's nobody's selling 100 tables, VIP tables on the floor around the ring. There's 90-something VIP tables. He sells them all out every event. And this being the 50th event, where it's going to be an amateur and pro show all together, this place is going to be set up this time around.
That's
He
terrific.
just knows what he's doing, man. He's been doing this, and he's got it dialed in.
Yeah, and he's a hard worker, obviously. He's always looking to make the best matchups possible.
Pete, I wouldn't say
Yep.
dialed in. I would say he's locked in.
Ah.
Yeah, exactly. There we go. That's the point.
I do have a question for Anderson. So normally he competes at 135, but this time he's competing at 145, correct?
Yes, it's kind of along the same lines as with Michael Davis. We got to get fights and everything. At this level, Anderson is 7-1, so we're looking to go 8-1 and hopefully get it to Cole and make our next move. But we're finding opponents and the right opponents with the right records for us to fight. We need good winning records right now to fight. So, Mike Barnett, no pushover by any means. Definitely a very good fighter. He's got a good winning record. He's 4-1, I believe, or 5-1, whatever it is. That's the kind of records we need to be fighting. We need to be taking a step up. So, this is a good fight. Anderson fought at 55 in his amateur career and went to 45 when we started together, then down to 35 on a few occasions. But now back up to 45 for this fight. So whatever happens, we'll make it happen.
That's awesome. Now, Anderson's a beast, obviously, and this is interesting to me because if you look at Conor, he's fought at 145, he's fought at 170, and he's fought at 155. My personal opinion, Conor's at his best at 155. He's not too heavy, but he doesn't cut too much weight. It seems to be that healthy middle ground. Now, how do you see Anderson competing at the 145-pound division? Is it similar to that?
I think Anderson's most comfortable at 145. I think that's his strong spot. Is not having to do a cut. Like to make 135, he's
Right.
got to start 6 weeks out. 6 to 7 weeks out with his diet and really be strict with it while it's good, getting good training in and everything. He's done it. He's done it a couple of times, and he's done it well. But right now, for 145, he's always been solid at 145. Always had good results. He's strong and he's fast and he keeps his movement. But Anderson's probably the most smart, savvy fighter that we have going. You know what I mean? He goes in there, and if you're a striker, he's going to adapt and he's going to stop you from striking. If you're a wrestler, he's going to stop the wrestling. If you're a jiu-jitsu guy, well, then that's your bad point because he's better.
High fighting IQ, very tactical.
Yep.
Hey, they don't call him Superman for nothing.
That is true.
That's it. That's it.
Iron Mike Barnett, he's from Mobile, Alabama. Are you worried that he has a little home field advantage or a shorter drive to get to the arena? Or, hey, you two men go into a ring and,
It's war.
Exactly. Nothing else matters?
Pensacola Bay Center, Island Fights, that's my home. That's my house.
Wow.
So I don't care
Wow.
if you're from Pensacola. When I drive all the way to Pensacola, that's our house. So we're coming in there. We don't need home field advantages or anything. That is my home. I've never felt, I don't feel more comfortable anywhere than I do when I go in that building. And our results have shown since all the fights that we've had over there, have done very well. Taylor was supposed to fight on this card, but unfortunately we've gone through a couple of opponents there. Once again, we're just stricken with this bad luck of opponents pulling out and everything else. So might have to start catching him all over the state.
I did have a question about Taylor White, the next big thing. Do fighters, or in this case promoters, do they see that? They see, wow, this girl can't get a fight because people are intimidated by her. That has to be something that runs through these promoters' minds, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking for a male 145 fighter as an amateur, there's a plethora. There's so many out there. You know what I mean?
Right.
It shouldn't be that hard. When you're a guy like Michael Davis, even when he was an amateur, we had a struggle getting him fights. And then when he turned pro, it took me 3 years to get him 5 fights. But when you're in the women's division is starting to get more popular.
Mm-hmm.
But I do feel that there's a bunch of them out there that actually just want to do this so that they can say, "Oh, I'm a fighter," and they want to fight other girls that are like 0-4 and stuff like that. They don't want to step up and fight hard fights. Rebecca Maxwell, that girl's tough as nails, and her and Taylor went at it down there in Orlando. That was a war, but we've had several other girls, not knocking on anybody. We had several other girls that were supposed to schedule the fight multiple times, and they just keep pulling out. So we'll see what happens. I'll go out of state if I have to go to Vegas or King of the Cage or whatever I got to do to get her fights, because the sitting around is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's got to be frustrating to say the least. But we're talking about females. Let's keep it going. Dean Toole just announced that the main event of Island Fights 50 is, our girl Hannah Goldie. She's fighting Shannon. That's unbelievable. What an unbelievable
main event.
Yeah, main event.
This is incredible for women.
Exactly.
Main event. I actually knew this several weeks ago, but I never spilled the beans.
Pete's got the dirt.
He does. He's got the plug.
But this is wonderful, and my girl Hannah, that's my baby. She's like my daughter, so I'm proud of her, and this is good. This is a good way to showcase. By no means is this a pushover fight or anything. These girls are going to get at it. They are tough, so it's going to be a great fight. Hannah's fighting a girl, that's a good fighter, and she's a southpaw, and but listen, I don't know anybody that trains harder than Hannah. So she out-trains all the boys wherever we go.
That's awesome, Pete. For people listening, obviously, I've never met anyone that has anything bad to say about you, so everybody loves you, Pete. Where can they find your gym or contact you? I want you to just plug away your gym and all your social media platforms so people can come and start joining that gym.
On Facebook, it's my Facebook is Pete White. I've got like 5,000 friends, so I have a hard time. I keep got to delete people so I can add new people on. But we have our team page is Pete White Boxing and MMA on Facebook. On Instagram, it's at PWBMMA, and on Twitter, it's the same at PWBMMA.
Awesome,
so
and they can
try
just
to
reach
stay
out.
Pretty active and keep everybody up to date with what we're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. It's, you've heard it from us many of times, Pete. It's the absolute best gym in town for anyone, for ages 5 to 55, boy, girl, someone who's legitimately training to be a UFC champion or just someone trying to lose 10 pounds and everything in between. I've been telling everyone they need to get to Pete White's gym and support. It's an unbelievable place.
I saved the best question for last, Pete.
Oh, boy. Do not ask me about Conor McGregor and Khabib.
No, I'm not. No, this is even bigger than that.
Wow,
Okay.
bigger than that.
This
okay.
is bigger than that.
Off script, Max. Give it to him.
You ready? I'm standing up for this one. Get out of my chair. All right. Do I last 30 seconds with Anderson Hutchinson on the mats?
It depends how
I'll take
how
it.
generous he's feeling.
How generous.
I was going to say if he was asleep or not.
I was hoping. I just wanted to interrupt you. It depends. So I'll take it right there. It depends from Pete White. You heard it there. The legend himself. It depends.
It is Fight Week, guys. Island Fights 50 this Saturday night. Pete, plug away for all your sponsors, all the great people that's helping. I know Demetrius Fit Meals does a lot for you guys in the gym. Anyone off the top of your
there's so many people that help me on a regular basis, but you got Fit Meals that always helps out, Pep-Boys, Signature Custom Homes in Winter Park. We got Team Fake Gear that we'll be seeing next week. I'm excited to get up to Pensacola and see all my people up there.
Absolutely.
There's Smyrna Beach Spine. I could just keep going on and on and on. There's so many people. Winter's Bar in Port Orange. My buddy Jeff and Nina.
Best bar in
place
town. They got great specials.
Yep.
If you need to get a drink,
Yep.
you just need to relax, play some pool, go to Winter's Bar, Port Orange, Florida.
Yep.
Nicest bar in Port
Absolutely.
Orange.
Go see Richie over at Pep-Boys on International Speedway. Get all your tires and everything over there. Tell him I sent you or Locked In sent you, and he'll take care of you. So we have so many people that are consistently helping with everything. But I'm just grateful to have all the great kids I have in my gym. I got from 10 years old, Sophia, who's competing all the way up to I have people in the gym that are in their 60s that are sparring on a regular basis. So, we got a whole thing in between.
It's a very diverse group. Pete, I just want to say thank you, not only for coming into the studio, calling into the studio, but for everything you do. So thank you, Pete.
Hey, thank you. Because without you guys, you guys are constantly taking care of the gym, and not for me, but for everybody that's in that gym. Locked In is our thing. We love you guys. Thank you for all you guys do.
Absolutely. Right back at you, Pete. Have a great week. We'll see you this weekend. Island Fights 50.
Amen, brother. Have a great night. Thank you,
too.
guys.
Thank you.
And the legend does it again.
The best guest in Locked In history.
And the best person on the face of this earth.
That's an undersell. Stop underselling it, Max.
I'm keeping it.
Pete White, I loved it. I just love how he talks about everyone in the gym.
Yeah.
Chris and Ando is fighting this Saturday night at Island Fights 50, but he brings up Princess Sophia. He brings up everyone in the gym, brings up Taylor, the next big thing. I can't wait. I can't wait to her fight. I think she's fighting October 20th, Combat Night, which is Clash of the Titans 2.
I learned this from Vince Carter's head coach, Coach Brink.
Okay.
DTLT, I've said it a couple times on the podcast, do the little things. And that is something Pete does. Like you just said, it's the little things. He doesn't need to do that, but he acknowledges everybody, no matter where you are in your career, MMA-wise, or just age. It's amazing.
Yeah, amazing. You know what else was amazing? That Triple G Canelo 2 fight.
It was amazing. And we were watching with John and Anderson and everybody, and Taylor and Sarah.
Yep.
And the more you think about it, John did have a point. That was a closer draw than the first fight. Because
Agreed.
pretty much everybody thinks Triple G won the first fight.
Triple G won the first fight, got robbed. The second was a draw.
You thought Triple G won it.
No. Canelo won the fight. I really thought they were just going to – it was like a makeup. You know how a makeup call and the refs in the Western Conference Finals, they're like, no, they do a bad call, so they make it up. Canelo won that fight. If you you say, Dave, you got to pick one. I would say Canelo won. But I really thought they were going to give it to Triple G. I lost $1.
Wow.
Yeah.
It was
a great fight.
Lived up to the hype.
Yeah.
And what's interesting about boxing, and I think it's so weird. So now you have Floyd flaunting or teasing the idea of coming back out of retirement for the third time or fourth time, fifth time, sixth time. Who knows what time this is. And it's like he's fighting Manny Pacquiao, which is in December, like the rumor, right? It's not official,
Sure.
but it's pretty much like when you always say when there's smoke, there's fire.
Sure.
It's like now it's all about the money. You know what I mean? It's like obviously his name is Floyd Money Mayweather, but he was 50-0. Like that was his legacy with Conor. It's like I just want to be 50-0.
Yeah.
So of course he always exercises that he loves money, but he could say it was 50-0. With this, it's just pure money. You've already beaten him once. You're 50-0. I'm almost not thrilled with a Floyd Pacquiao 2 fight.
I'm not either, and I said this too. The Professor John Radford that we will see fight week at Island Fights 50. They had a chance Saturday night to make Canelo a superstar, make him the next big boxing superstar. But all you heard from all the media in boxing is that Triple G kind of got robbed.
Yeah.
They brought a negative contents to that fight. They should have just said, hey, Canelo, unbelievable performance. Make sure you watch, and make sure you watch the next pay-per-view that Canelo's on. He is the undisputed champ. And they did it. They lost it there.
It's a good point, but to play devil's advocate, could it be their purpose is, for those that say he got robbed, to have a third fight? And that would be, okay, so the first fight was a draw. More people thought Triple G won. The second fight, Canelo won, but a couple people thought Triple G won. A third fight. Does it come to fruition?
I don't know. I don't think so. I think people are a little tired of it. I think there's a lot of people that think that Triple G was robbed not once but twice. So to make them spend another $80 to watch it again,
Which
I
they will.
Don't know. I
think they will.
I think sometimes people get tired of seeing the same thing over and over again.
I have never gotten tired of watching Infinity Wars.
Oh, I have.
I know you didn't like it the first time.
I have.
Shout out to Sean, our producer. His kid wearing the Infinity Gauntlet. That was amazing. That was awesome.
Yeah, we just watched it.
It's true. Kids can love Infinity Wars. Thank you, Sean.
Gee whiz.
I brought my son when we went and saw it with Mike Davis.
Yes, and he's 3.
That's just horrible. That's the worst fathering I've ever heard in my life.
I'm so proud of you, Sean.
No, it's a good movie. But I think Avengers Age of Ultron's even better. It's an underrated movie. Avengers 2.
I love
the Age of Ultron was a great movie.
Yeah, I loved it. I think it's better than Thanos.
I love every Avengers movie. But yeah, Thanos is by far the best one in my book. Just to have Thor talking to the Guardians of the Galaxy people, you don't get that in any other movie. To have Captain America, and it's just unbelievable.
And then they all died.
Not all of them.
Spoiler alert.
All the originals lived, and you know they're all going to come back to life. Uh-oh.
Nope, they're all dead.
Sean's getting up from editing.
Anyway.
I heard one theory, though. Do you know
Professor Hulk.
Yeah, the Professor
Yeah, it's exactly
Hulk
what's going to happen. That's why
Frankie
he couldn't
from,
get out of
the barbershop was talking about that.
I had the entire time I'm in the chair, I talked to him about it, and that's exactly why he was struggling the entire time. So now, because if you remember in Thor Ragnarok, I know we're kind of getting a little off topic here, but he started speaking in the Hulk form. So that was like the tease into it, and now he's going to be the one that beats Thanos. That's my locked in.
I've got 2 theories.
Uh-oh.
One, everybody who faded away is in a whole alternative universe. So they're still there, and it's gonna start a whole new like Marvel universe. But this is how they're gonna recast some of the people, because like you've got RDJ who probably wants to be done. You got Chris Evans who's probably wants to get done, and they might start a different like alternate universe.
That's just madness.
One theory.
Is that madness?
It's a theory.
That's
it's a theory.
madness.
The other theory I read, I don't necessarily believe it, but it's kind of interesting, is that Loki was Hulk in the entire Infinity
I've
Wars
heard
movie.
that one too. I've heard that one.
That's why he couldn't change. That's why he couldn't do it. So he was basically
in the first scene.
Right. He
of
kind of
the
when that very first scene happened.
Yeah.
he
So where was Hulk?
Hulk is wherever he got thrown.
I think the most accurate one is going to be the Professor Hulk.
Theory. It's not my theory. It's an interesting.
Anyone who likes Avengers, Thanos, Infinity War, Gauntlet 17, meet me at Island Fights 50 in the ring. I'll take them all on. I will be Thanos, and I'll just snap my fingers.
I hope you know Michael
take on my
Davis
son.
loved that movie.
Oh, shit. Never mind. Oh, shit.
You're gonna take on my 3-year-old.
Yeah.
I might be able to get him.
Anyway, so
Might keyword there.
I had it locked in about the Marvel universe, but here's my real
Island Fights 50. Let's get it.
legitimate locked in.
Okay.
Island Fights 50. Chris Mixon, and of course people are gonna be like, "You're biased." Yeah, he's a great friend of mine, but all honesty, I think this kid, you heard Pete talk about it, is just on another level.
Agree. The Kingslayer.
On another level when it comes to just, for one, not only your talent and your athletic ability, but having the dedication and doing what you love. He was trained over in Ireland. He didn't have to. I think he did it with his family just to go over there, but he reached out and was able to train in an amazing camp. So to be able to do what he does with the talent he's given, but have the hard work and dedication, is why I have so much confidence in him. My locked in, Chris Mixon wins Island Fights 50, his debut on Island Fights.
Totally agree. And I love how Pete White said Pensacola Bay Center is my home.
Yeah, that gave me chills.
That gave me chills. It was like the Eminem Machine Gun Kelly battle. Pete White beats him.
So Pete White's Eminem.
Yes. Agree, right? Okay, my lock
So
in
he's
is
not
this.
the best person in the face of the universe. He's Eminem.
Okay, Fights 50. My locked in is this. The main event we talked about, it's Hannah versus Shannon. And there's so many great fights on this card, and that's why we love it. We're going to be there. That's going to be the best fight of the whole night. That's the fight I'm looking forward to. It's the main event for a reason. I'm excited. I think there's going to be a finish. There's going to be a stoppage in this fight, and I'm just amped. I'm thrilled. I just cannot wait.
By who?
For Hannah Shannon in the main event. Hannah's going to win.
I agree.
Hannah Goldie, first round TKO.
I agree.
Okay, I'm locked in then.
Everybody, you heard it. Locked in. Bet your money. It's legal.
Fight week.
Fight week. Island Fights 50. Pensacola, Florida. Definitely come out. Talk to us. Take some pictures with us. Buy a shirt. Who knows? Maybe you can hang out with us if you have a shirt and you surprise us.
Yeah, I mean, my locked in is I'll be at this fight.
I love it. So will we.
You know that's true.
Yeah, I took off work already.
All right, guys, we can't wait. And like always,
Stay locked in.
Yeah. You now locked in with the best. We ain't rocking with the rest. And when it's game time, we gon' put you to the test. Come the ball, we hitting it, kicking it, or we dribbling, passing it, or we running, or it's the ring that we flip you in. So what's the news? You want the scoop? You gotta keep it locked. To David Max podcast through your speaker box. What's poppin', my friend? You know the drop in. And the only thing left to do is keep it locked in.
Fight week.